Hi again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing the second half of my What Solds. That will be last weekend, Friday through Sunday, November 24th through the 26th. Still amazing sales, y'all. I'm very happy, very grateful. And then I've got a lot to share with you on this video, but it's only going to be, I think, Poshmark and eBay. Funny thing is Mercari has really picked up for me in the last few days. So, it's just kind of hit and miss with that platform, hit and miss. But, I'm grateful for every sale. That was the whole purpose of cross-listing, was to get more eyes on my listings. So hopefully I could sell more on other platforms. If you're new to my channel, I list everything on eBay, and then I use List Perfectly to cross-list to the other platforms. But eBay is always going to be my first and primary platform. Before we get started on this, though, Robert wanted me to put out there to Books and More. They are one of the members of my YouTube channel. Robert calls them my producers. They have joined the memberships. We've started doing Zoom calls. Go into the messages. We have a link that we have put out there. Next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We did one last week, but we were kind of late getting the message out. And those of you who are interested, I have YouTube memberships, but we've really wanting to focus more on Discord because they do have that chat function, and we can all keep sharing stuff and chit-chatting throughout the day. So if you wanted to support my channel in that way, go down and do the Discord link. I think it's $5 a month, but we do want to start doing this Zoom call if you're interested in something like that and to support my channel. That's going to be in the link is in the description of the video, and then we're going to be doing another Zoom call next Wednesday, or this Wednesday. We'll start out with Poshmark. I have 4 sales on there to share with you guys. I sold these Wrangler jeans, women's, 12 petite for $15. And then these Revolt, never heard of that brand, women's carpenter jeans. I have found carpenter jeans do really well in many of the different brands. These sold on Posh for $40. Y'all, this is from another sale from that hybrid estate sale that I won over 2 years ago. In that lot of toys that I picked up, a lot of it was advertising plush. I had all of the Nutrisystem bears. I guess every time you hit a weight loss threshold, you would get a new bear. This was the last one, and it sold for $10 on Posh. And then this, I just realized how much it sold for when I was setting this up. I didn't even realize, but this is a Babies R Us dog plush from 2013, sold for $54 on Poshmark. And then eBay. Lots to share with you guys. I remember picking these up, but I don't remember how much I paid. $5, maybe $10 for a large box of these. They were called Pop-On Pals. They didn't stick around very long. They are by Spin Master, but you could like pop these figures into, different arms and parts of their body, and then all of these vehicles. I've picked them up a couple of times, but they are kind of slow to sell. I picked them up this summer though, so it wasn't too bad of a wait. But they sold on a best offer of $40. Y'all, if you're new to my channel too, I don't do free shipping, so the buyer did pay extra for the shipping also. All right, Petting Zoo. This was an advertising plush for Pikes Peak, sold for $10. FIB Bogart Sunflower Smiley Face plush, sold for $21.21. Waffle Weave baby blankets. I tend to pick up a lot of them when I can find them. The one that you're really looking for though is the Baby Morgans, but this one was a brand called Starting Out, and it sold very quickly for $21.21. Now, I'm sorry if my voice sounds odd. I cannot get over whatever it is that's going on with me. I'm just not been feeling well. Oh, look, my Puffalump sold. This is the puppy dog with the pink stripes from 1988, sold for full price of $69.95. Hasbro For Real Roarin' Tyler Tiger plush. I don't tend to pick up these larger For Reals, but T&N Pickers had picked one up and did, I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that they had sold theirs. So I did grab this. I don't think I paid a couple of dollars for it. And it sold pretty quickly for $25.46. Tommy, Thomas the Train, Blue Tracks. I tend to pick these up at the Goodwill bins when I can get lots of them at once. I'm pretty sure I have another bag around here that I have got to get listed. I just decided all of these had been picked up at one time at the bins. So I just laid them out, kind of sorted them by the shapes, and laid them out and got a best offer of $45 and decided to go ahead and accept it. Make stuff gone, y'all. That's my new saying, make stuff gone. Gora Mariana plates, y'all. This was such an amazing find. And I'm down to just the last few pieces. These were 2 salad plates sold for $13.62. This is from a lot of Avon stuff that I picked up a couple of weeks ago at an estate sale. I made a huge pile of mostly Avon vintage Christmas stuff. Paid $45 for all of it. I think 2 of the pieces that I picked up that day are in here. This poinsettia tree sold for $13. No brand. Y'all, you don't always have to have a brand. It does take a little bit longer for somebody to go ahead and purchase it, but just a gray raccoon plush, 7-inch, sold for $9.91. Build-A-Bear. I do really well with the smaller plush. The small fries, the buddies, they just tend to do better for me. I know there are Build-A-Bears that sell for a lot of money. I have a video out there showing, I think it was last year, showing some of the ones at that time that were selling for crazy dollar amounts. But I do really well with these smaller ones, and they don't last very long. This was an 8-inch leopard, $13. Williams Sonoma Holiday Beverage Cup and Saucer Set. I think originally when I bought this, there were 5 different ones, and they all had different words on it. Like this one was hot toddy, there was a hot chocolate, apple cider, stuff like that. I think this was the last one to finally sell. I picked them up at a thrift store. I don't think I paid maybe $5 for all of them, and this one sold for $10. Garanimals. I like that brand. A lot of them are like this hippo, a hippo, this monkey, there's an elephant. But this particular one sold for $10. American Eagle women's jeans sold for $14. Y'all, it's been a while since I've been listing clothes. I've just really been focusing on all of this bin stuff. But we have started processing more clothes, and I'm trying to list at least 5 a day. And I've noticed my clothing sales have started picking up. I was talking with somebody else. They said they hadn't, Beth, I think, said she hadn't been listing plush in a while because she'd been buying these lots of other things. And then when she listed a bunch of plush one day, she instantly sold like 2 of them. So, you know, I really believe that, you know, especially when we're in these multi-categories, try to spread out everything that you're listing. Don't just focus on one thing. You know, try to do a little clothes and a little hard goods and a little vintage, and just, I think it kind of keeps each of the categories active. OTC, Oriental Trading Company. I bought a bag of these at an estate sale. I want to say I divided up the turkeys into 4 sets of 4, and then I had these 3 that were left over. I've already sold all the sets of 4. This is the last of them, and these 3 sold for $12. anytime you find these kind of like vintage blow mold like stuff, these were little, like 2¼ 3/4 inches tall. Definitely check the comps. I did so well with them. Mary Meyer, I just listed this. This is the Blue Cheery Cheeks mouse, sold for $16.96. Shorts, y'all. Levi's women's jean shorts, $16.73. Just a reminder, if you're in the global shipping program, don't do Levi's to the European nation. You will get a Vero. I go ahead and I just block out all international by going into the excluded countries, and I just check them all. I'm not going to bother. I don't know which countries are, you can't send Levi's to. I just block them all out. I've talked about this in a previous video. I'll have Robert put a link down in the description of this video. This is Raven Rabbids. My kids loved that game on the Wii when they were little. Superhero plush. I picked up 2 of them. I'm not quite sure where the other one was because I don't think I've listed it yet. It must have maybe needed a repair or something. I'm not sure. But this one sold for $21.21. Home Buddies. Love the Home Buddies. I've got my little gray elephant somewhere. No, mouse. I've got the mouse. It's like my thing somewhere over there. I like the mouse, but if you find Ringo, I've had him in 2 different shapes. This one sold for $25.46. I think I have the standing up one still listed. And then I just found this one again with the paper tag. So I bumped the price up a little bit on it. But yeah, definitely, if you see the Home Buddies, they're these terry cloth small plush by Russ. Definitely check the comps. Not all of them sell for a lot, but Ringo is one of the good ones. Dickies bib overalls. I put this on here because not all overalls sell for a whole lot. We will probably not pick up Dickies again because they are definitely a pain to do pictures of, to do measurements of, and they don't sell for a whole lot. But if you find some of the other brands, Pointer, I know is one of the good ones. Carhartt you can do okay with, but Dickies probably not going to pick that one up again. Plus, it didn't have a size tag in it. All kinds of issues against it. But actually, it sold very quickly. $16.73. Applause. Right on the tag, it said his name is Zany Zebra. 16-inch sold for $16.96. Y'all, I tend to pick higher dollar prices for my vintage, and then I wait and see what kind of offers I'm going to get. But a lot of times, people who want this is nostalgia. This is something that they've had in their childhood. It was from 1984. They went looking for it, and they paid. They didn't even send an offer. They paid my sale price, $48.88. The brand is Animal Toy. I just showed one of those. I think it's actually going to be in tomorrow's or the next haul video that we're going to put out. Animal Toy. But it did say Cuddle Me, which kind of helped. Pink, all of the major keywords. But don't be afraid to put a higher price on something and wait for the right buyer or the right offer. Mattel Shimmer and Shine. I think they're doing a comeback because there for a while I couldn't sell nothing Shimmer and Shine, and I've sold both of these dolls in a relatively short time. Not high dollar, but they're selling quickly for me. This was the second lot. It sold for $12.71. I picked them up at the bins. All right, this was a Robert find, I'm pretty sure. He tends to go look at the cassettes and CDs and all of that type of stuff when we go to sales. And a lot of times with these cassettes and like older music, it is the rock, it is the metal. I don't even know who Rat is. But they had them listed probably a couple of months, sold for $15. Hasbro, Psyduck, Pokemon Plush, Game Freak from 1998. A lot of them are bread and butter. I think there's a few exceptions, but for the most part, I get bread and butter for them. This one sold for $9. Kelly Toy Brown Sheep Plush from 2017. You know, this is something I just showed in a recent haul video. Couldn't find anything similar to it. A lot of different color, but not the brown. Threw a $24.95 plush price on it and got a $16 offer. You know, I'm good with selling plush for $16 that I've picked up at the bins. Probably have $1 or less in it. So don't be afraid to put a higher price, but don't get emotional when you get these what you consider lower price, because it may be actually the price. Make it gone. Make it gone. Sock Monkey Christmas stocking. I pick up stockings all year long. I list them. I don't wait till Christmas. Sometimes they sell way before Christmas, but I think there's several in here that I'll show that have sold this week leading up to Christmas. This one sold for $22.87. Dakin Wolf Hand Puppet from 1983. Another quick sale, sold for $13. Y'all, keep these in mind. There are 3 vehicles that go to the Fisher-Price Big Action Garage. This thing is a monster, probably 3 feet tall. Very cool. My kids had it when they were little, but there's 3 vehicles that go to it. This red car, a white car, I believe, and an orange tow truck. Let me show you the bottom. They're just flat on the bottom, and you need to look for this 95 Fisher-Price. They were all from that year. I found the red car and the orange tow truck. I may have sold the tow truck already. I can't remember. But this red vehicle sold for $22.92. Always looking for them. I think Robert posted a picture of this nativity in the Facebook group saying, obviously I don't love him because I handed him a 16-piece ceramic nativity to pack. I don't like packing breakables. That's a Robert job. But this particular nativity sold for $32. Now, y'all, these are those just kind of fleece-looking American Greetings stockings. Tons and tons of them out there. They look really, really chintzy. But if you find some with vintage cartoon characters on it, like the Get Along Gang, I also found some that were Cabbage Patch. A couple of others, I think. I tend to pick them up. I've picked these up at my favorite little estate sale company. I want to say I paid $1/4 each for probably this many. And I've sold several of them already, including some of the Cabbage Patch. This one stocking sold for $14, and I think I have one more left. Halloween in November. This is a Trendmaster Casper light up jack-o'-lantern. It was one of those foam kind of molds. $19.95, sold for $30 offer. We just picked this up at a churchyard sale. Robert paid $2 for it. It was 40 DVDs from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Sold very quickly for a $40 offer. Snoopy. I tend to pick up tons of Snoopy, and they do not stick around very long. I have one basket that's dedicated just to Snoopy, and this is a 9-inch plush with the pink pajamas on, sold for $19.05. Another Christmas stocking. This is Jimmy. Jimmy is definitely one to keep your eyes out for. Most things Jimmy. Definitely check the comps for, and fingers crossed that they work. But this was a Scooby-Doo stocking, sold for $12.71. Fisher-Price Loving Family Mom from 2011, sold for $15.22. Douglas Tan and Black Dog. I think I just listed that recently, and it sold for $9 best offer. Love the bread and butter sales. Touch My Heart animated plush. It was from a company called Smart Group. 2003, sold for $12.71. It did have a video in there showing that it does work. I encourage you to do that anytime I'm taking pictures and getting stuff processed to list. If I know I need to show that it's working, it's just a part of my, record 30 seconds of it working. And then it's so easy to list these on eBay. Now, there was a time when you had to go into YouTube, post your video, get a link, put it in your eBay listings. But now you can just do it right there on your listing page. I do caution you, make sure you stay on that screen until it starts loading past the 4%. I'm not quite sure what that whole 4% is, but I have found if I start uploading the video and I keep scrolling down to start finishing my listings, if I haven't gotten it to at least the 4%, it like errors out. And usually I don't go back up to make sure that everything looks good. And I don't know that video's not there until I either go to edit it or I get a message, asking if there is a video showing it works. So just add video, but make sure that it gets past that 4% loading. Don't know what that's all about. Anybody else have that issue? But I always wait. Boris Vallejo, Fearless Rider Dragon Jigsaw Puzzle. This one was one of the puzzles I guess we put together. Robert and I have a puzzle going all the time. It's something that we enjoy doing, and then we just sell the puzzles after we're done. This one sold for $16.96. Disney Winnie the Pooh Talking Christmas Stocking. Obviously, this is an older listing because I don't have a video of it working. Sold for $26.91. This hasn't been listed very long either. This was an Applause Sesame Street Big Bird plush, but he was made of terry cloth. So anytime I find a terry cloth thing, I get excited about it. It did have some condition issues, but it sold pretty quickly for $12.71. Now, these we picked up at the Finders Keepers, the one and only time we ever went there, and just piled up on a dollar day. Tons and tons of stuff. But I did pick up a couple of these Dallas Cowboy jerseys. This one sold for $20.98. Pixel Chicks. Y'all, these are amazing if you can find them. I had never found them before. I only heard of them because I was watching Bolo Buddies one time, and I don't know if it was a member share Bolo or it was something that she had found at the bins, but I've always kept it, filed back in the back of my brain, and I found 4 of these at a yard sale, and I've sold 2 or 3 of them now. This is just the little car, and it sold for $20. It's got like this digital screen on the inside, and the character does different things in there, and you use the buttons. And I have boys, never seen this kind of stuff before. At $20 for itty bitty toy. All right, tablecloths, y'all. I tend to pick them up, especially if they're still sealed. I did buy a bunch that were seasonal, that weren't sealed, and been selling through them slowly but surely. But anytime you can find sealed tablecloths, like this holiday time, I'm pretty sure that might be Walmart. Could have been Kmart. If you can get them for, $1 or less, I tend to sell them during this time of year. This one had snowflakes on the vinyl tablecloth, $10.63. Now, the same place that I bought the Pixel Chicks, I picked up this coffee mug. I bought probably a dozen that day. They were $1 each. Come to find out, I guess Drake's is a restaurant I've never heard of. But this was an advertising coffee cup, sold for $12.71. Rudolph Island of Misfit Toys. These are a CVS Stuffins plush series. I picked up, I want to say all of them. One of the times that we stopped at the Nashville bins, just, they were all there. A lot of them had their paper tags, and I'm down to just a few of them left. This particular water pistol one sold for $20. Now Lakeshore is like an educational website catalog thing. When I was a teacher, I used to go there to get some of the games and manipulatives and stuff for my classroom. So anytime I see Lakeshore, I tend to want to pick it up because I know how much that stuff is. This was a box of 36 stencils. I'm pretty sure I picked this up at the bins, and it sold within 2 months maybe of listing it for $22. Trim a Home, which I think is Walmart. Church Cathedral. This was a 6-inch, one of those little ceramic houses. Now, I think this is the one I bought at a yard sale. One of these huge styrofoam sets where it was several of these buildings, 6 buildings, 7 buildings. I'm not quite sure. I didn't want to deal with that. That was just going to be way too much problems trying to get boxes for that size in it. So I just listed each one of the buildings separately. I'm pretty sure I've sold a couple of them already. They were all from $19.99. This one sold for $13.41. All right, Lego minifigures. Picked up a bunch at the Cincinnati, I think it was Savers we went to when we were up in Cincinnati. Divvied them all out into lots. I'm down to like a dozen maybe left. This was a city workers sanitation lot of 4 figures. At this point, I'm taking reasonable offers. They sent me $15. I'm ready for all of them to be gone. Gund Sherpa Lamb puppet from 1984 sold for $9. Now this series, it's called, they're by Joy Wilt, and they're like behavior, manners book series. I had a lot of 16 of them from 1979 and 1980, as you can see from some of the titles. You're making up your own mind, a kid's guide to making friends, just a whole bunch of these types of books. Geared more towards like preschool, elementary age. I sold these 16 books for $29.76. Heavy. The box was like heavy. Coleman Tough Foams. Usually if we can get these for like 50 cents or so, we'll pick them up at yard sales and stuff. These two, for some reason, sat upstairs in our holding pile, is what I've ended up calling them, of things that needed cleaned. Not sure why they went up there because they weren't really that bad. But I did get them cleaned up, listed them, and they sold within a month of listing for $9. So, turn 50 cents into $9. I'll do that all the time. Andrea by Sadek. Probably not a thing that I will pick up again. This was larger, fragile. Yes, it sold for $19.05, but it was a whole lot of packing. And I want to say I paid like $3 each at the Goodwill. When I started branching out of toys, I just thought they were pretty. They said at one point, if it said made in Japan, I thought that meant it was really, really good and you should just go ahead and buy it no matter what. No, not really. Definitely check the comps anytime you're buying stuff, and definitely be careful with breakables, because by the time you pack something up like this, it's like 3 pieces. You've got a whole lot of packing and boxes and all of that invested in it. So make it at least worth your while. I've told Robert next year we're going to be way more wiser with dish sets and most of this type of breakable stuff. Behringer baby doll. I tend to pick a lot of them up, especially at the bins. I've got $1 or so in them, especially the ones that show the teeth. For some reason, those seem to be more popular. This one sold for $12. Raymond Briggs. I don't remember where I got this, but I was very happy. I had not seen a 7-inch plush in this series. Anytime you see this snowman, grab it. Grab it, grab it, grab it. It is a definite bolo. But usually they're like 12 inches, maybe bigger. But I listed this one a couple of months ago, so it took the Christmas season, and it sold for $24.61. This is the other Avon set that sold. This was called Winter Wonderland. It has a little train and a lighted train that went through that tunnel. It was very cute. Again, I have a video showing it. Sold for $36. And it came in its box with the styrofoam and everything. So all I had to do was put it in a priority box. All right, brass menorah, 7 candle branch. Little, y'all, 4 inches, $26.91. This is a viewer sale, so thank you again, Sherry, for always supporting us. This is an FAO Schwartz Unicorn Cat Plush. It was one of those that the last time I did this, everybody was, several people commented that they knew what I was meaning, but it just has that, you know, that sound, the fairy dust kind of sound. Sold for $10. SpongeBob SquarePants, Gary the Snail plush, $11.01. Animal Adventure 16-inch plush from 2016, $12.16. I think I've sold 3 Jingle Pals in the last week. This one was the snowman with the dog in the doghouse. These are made by Hallmark. I picked them up when the price is reasonable, a couple of dollars or less. And then a lot of times they sell this time of year. This one sold for $21.21. I find them a lot of times at the Goodwill bins. All right, Eden Learning Curve pink doll plush, $28.95. Not all Eden is high dollar stuff like the terry cloth clowns and lamb and all of that stuff. But even these, my first dolls, tend to do very well for me. These Christmas ornaments, y'all. I bought a box of Christmas ornaments at a churchyard sale. I paid $10 for the whole box. I've sold several of them already. This was the tomato. Now, I want to say 2 or 3 tomatoes, but they all had just slightly different condition issues. So I went ahead and did each one of them had their own listing. That way I can show exactly what I'm saying when I say something is up with them. This one sold for $12.71. And for something like this, most of you know I store all of my items. Every item I have is stored in a bag, a clear bag. Some of them are just the self-sealing, depending on the size of the item, but everything gets stored. So these were all stored in a clear bag, and then we just gently bubble wrap around them, and then shipped them in like a 5x5x5 box, just to have plenty of packing all the way around them. But it needs to be a sturdy box, y'all. I see lots of people make posts about getting free boxes at, you know, the dollar stores or Walmart or whatever. But a lot of times those boxes are boxes that were like, had an item in it, but it was in a different box. You know, it's just the box that the stuff came in, but it wasn't the shipping box. So be really careful when you're picking up boxes. I get free is good, but make sure they're sturdy, that they've got, you know, some strength to them, so that if, you know, a heavy box gets laid on top of them, it's not going to just implode. So just words of wisdom. Another Christmas stocking. This one is Pier 1. I tend to pick up a lot of Pier 1 because now I think all the stores are closed and you can only purchase stuff online. So anytime I find Pier 1, I tend to pick it up. This stocking sold for $15.26. And then my best sale of the week is also another viewer sale. So thank you so much, Tracy. Y'all, I I picked up a bunch of Paw Patrol figures, and I had a bunch of individual listings of Paw Patrol, and I decided just to combine it. Make one big lot. I ended all of my little listings of just single characters and made one huge lot. And Tracy bought it for $99.95. So again, thank you so much, Tracy. All right, y'all. I've got to get some stuff listed. We just put a haul video out last night, and I've already had several people like, I want this, I want this. And I always list my stuff through eBay. So I'm going to try to get some of this stuff processed so that those of you who requested stuff can look in my store this week and hopefully find the things that you were interested in. But back to making some more haul videos also this week, and hopefully whatever this is going to go away soon. So this is like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I've been fighting this. Get to work. Bye.